Yo, what's going on? Thank y'all for tuning in to another DnL&x live stream show. Thank God thank God. Today is the first day of school. Thank God everybody's alive. Hopefully everybody's okay. Man, we are having a good day today, man. Hopefully everybody having a good day. Enjoy your day at work. Hopefully nobody pisses you off at work. Hopefully everything is good, happy, positive, on the even keel. But if you're having a bad day, we're going to let Mr. Child break it down to you.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
And if you didn't die and you're still alive, you're able to get up, get out, get something, make something happen. Stay focused on your grind, mind your business, keep your head down, put in that work and put in that effort, that consistency, and make sure that you have a positive energy, positive mindset about yourself, moving forward and going forward and grinding forward and just thinking positive, nothing negative, and let all the negativity just float out the way and focus your energy and attention on stuff that is a positive reinforcement for you, and mind your business, attend to your business and grow your business, and let's go. Yes, sir. He's so low. There we go. All right, there we go. We are multi-streaming on 5 different platforms: YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and Facebook. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor. When you see that thumbs up, it's going to pop up on your screen. Do your boy a favor and hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated. Get the likes up, get the algorithm going. And also, if you want to contribute to today's show, bam, Cash App and the Venmo. If you can find it over there. Cash App is going to be Daniel2888. Venmo, Danny-Daniel-0. With that being said, we got a nice show going up for you. We're gonna sit down and talk about some what is it called? Some secret societies with Professor Zhang. I don't know how to say his last name, but yeah, we're gonna talk about some secret societies and see how they are basically mapping the world, how they do things and how they run things and how things are basically put together, and why you probably need to be more weary when you're on social media, things like that, because a lot of people do these things and sell themselves out and do these secret society things, then come to you and be like, pro real estate course, and we have I have a stock lesson I can teach you, and I'm pro this, and I'm a expertise at Bitcoin investing, and all these things, and the whole time these fools is in some kind of secret society or some stuff with all sorts of cheat codes to go along with the benefit that they get. Not hating on them, but at the end of the day, it seems like if you're in a secret society, you somehow got like the cheat code to life or something like that, which is cool. That's how you want to play it that way. But at the same time, at least let people know that's what you're a part of, so people can get an idea. Like if they really want to get in and get on the money, they need to go ahead and join your cult. You know what I'm saying? So be honest about your stuff. If you're gonna be out here joining the secret society and winning and doing all sorts of stuff, let people know they got to go in there and join the secret society and be a part of your cult, and do what all the things you got to do to move up the ladder and what have you, or whatnot, and all that and all that craziness. But to each his own. Everybody do their own thing, do what you choose to do. Some people don't believe in themselves, they believe in other things, and if that's what you want to do you. But over here, now we don't do all that. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We believe in ourselves, and we go to the party. We leave the party with who brought us to the party, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? We got a creator that's already inside of us. We got a spark inside of us over here. We got a divine creator that created everything, including that fallen angel that y'all worship. So hey, do what you do and be who you want to be, but that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? We rocking a little different over here, and hopefully people can understand this, and understand that when you're on social media watching people sell you all kind of courses and all these crazy things and whatever the case may be, or a lot of the times these people are a part of some kind of cult. At the end of the day, everybody a part of some kind of cult, which is crazy, but a lot of the times that's usually what it is, especially like out of college and all these different things. A lot of people join these cults and fraternities that turn into cults down the line. We done found out on the back end, and we're going to dig deep, and Professor Zhang is going to sit down, take this off. Professor Zhang is going to break it down to a T and show us a lot of stuff that goes on with it, and just give you an open insight to understanding how all this stuff works. But with that being said, we do got to take a look at something. I do want to bring something to attention. If you didn't know that the WNBA, what is it? The game that they just had, the Indiana Fever, just lost their game to, what's the team that Caitlin Clark play on? I forget. But whatever team she played on, I guess Caitlin Clark team won because at the very end, they couldn't seem to score the game-winning bucket. Let me see if I can find this game-winning bucket for you real quick. Let's go ahead and pull up this game-winning bucket so you can see what I mean. Let me see. Where's this game-winning bucket at? I just had it. Let me find this man. Here we go. The game-winning bucket, ladies and gentlemen. This is how the game-winning bucket turned out. Hopefully we can play it. Hopefully, music in the background. But let's take a look at the good old high profit earning WNBA. Let's see how the game turned out in the end. So it says Caitlin Clark couldn't stop laughing after Angel Reese smoked a point blank layup at the buzzer for the win. Here we go.
Atlanta continues to own the offensive glass here in the fourth quarter.
And game over. Oh no, game over. And as Caitlin Clark walks by in the back, laughing her ass off. Hold that L. Yeah, buddy. Pay them more. Yep, let's see. Airball. Brick Mason. Oh, no. Game over, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can stop it right on point. Wait, can we get her back just a little bit? Can we get her back just a little bit on the other side? Let's see if we can get her back. She back there like this. Yeah, buddy. Look at that. Look at that smirk. Boy, this is going to be the meme forever right here, boy. Look at that. Look at that. Then she sweeps to the other side. Oh man, they be doing that girl dirty back there too, but they be doing her dirty. She got some highlights where they like slammed her and suplexed her and punched her and elbowed her and gave her the rock bottom and everything else on that court. So you see this laugh back here, she like, oh wow, I just knew you guys won. Oh, wait. I think she was under the paint too. Let's watch it again. I think, is that her right there? Is she number 22? Caitlin Clark, are you number 22? I should know this, right? I shouldn't. I can't tell what number she is. Oh, dang it. Hold on. Let me fix this real quick before I show all the stuff I shouldn't be showing. Is she number 22? Let me see. What number is Caitlin Clark? I think she's number 22, but let's just double check. What number is Caitlin? There we go. Number 22? Because that girl do look like her. Yeah, number 22. I was right. All right, there we go. So let's just double check. So here we go. So as we see the play, there she is right here. This is her number 22. So she's watching. She's like, oh no, look, she's right here. She's like right searching center. And Angel Reese got it. And she's like, ugh. And she's like, oh, damn, we lost. Like right now, she's probably thinking to herself, she's like, oh, I ain't about to hear the end of these girls' mouths. She's just like, it is over, bro. I can't even find my sound for this. Oh well. Where's my sound? Where is it? Yeah. So right now, Caitlin Clark's like,
oh no.
And then she sees her throw it up. She's like, oh, thank God. She missed it. And then the other girl grabs it and she's basically done. Like she ain't even trying to go and help the other team out. She's like, they got it. It's over. Throws it up again. She's like, up. She's in disbelief. Look, she put her hands up on her head. She's like, whew, boy, I am so glad that they suck. Thank you, Tiny Aim. My bad, I didn't see you. Caitlin Clark is number 22. Yes, sir. What's up, Tiny Aim? How you doing? Yeah, so yeah, she is number 22. And look right here. She's like, thank God they didn't make that. And then she's like, look. That is forever a classic, bro. That laugh, looking at her like, boy, you really suck. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Oh, that sucks. It is what it is, though. That sucks. Laying up some bricks. Oh, look, somebody said Angel earlier tried to score it up to Clark just to blow an easy layup. Yeah, Fever won by 4. So even if they would have got this, it wouldn't even have mattered. Yeah. Sad. Fever won by 4, but still, yeah. Sad moment. Sad moment in life. Sad moment in life, boy. That is super sad. She tried, though. They tried. What was the score? Do you know what the final score was? What was the final score? Final score for the Fever versus whatever game. Let me see. What was the final score? 91-95. Okay, so they won by 4, but yeah. Oh, damn, you were fast. Sad? No. Funny? Yes. 95-91, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, they got to hold that L. That's so sad. And then, of course, you know, the internet is undefeated. So then, of course, somebody said, F it. Angel Reese highlights. So then they went ahead and put this montage together. Oh, I can't play the song. But here we go. Angel Reese highlights, ladies and gentlemen. They see her for the 3. Nope. Up. Rebound. Shoot it. Nope. Up. Was this all the same game? Oh, no. This couldn't have been all the same game. Was it? Drop to the paint. Oh, get up out of here. Is this the same game? Was this the same? This is the same game? Oh, my goodness. No, did that really just happen? Oh, I thought somebody shot it. They just hit the ball up. Damn, they so rough on the court. I watched the girls basketball college game one time, and those girls is rough, bruh. They should put on pads and play football, because this basketball is an understatement. They shouldn't be playing this. They be out there just, I mean, like they just be I don't even know how the hell they made it to the 90s when it come to points, because ain't no way. Yep, ain't no way. Reese is that good. Oh my goodness. Oh, free open layup, Ed. Oh, no, not today. Not today. Nope. And again. Oh man, I am surprised that they are allowed the long nails. They got long nails? They have long nails in the WNBA? Really? I wouldn't have thought they would be able to play with long nails. That's impossible. Well, you know, you would wonder how women wipe their ass with long nails, and you would think they wouldn't wear long nails with that. But yeah, you know, they still do it. Some way, somehow. Yeah, this is crazy. All the hate they give that poor girl, Caitlin Clark. It's sad, bro. They be giving Caitlin Clark the most worst time ever. Honestly, like they be doing Caitlin Clark so bad. They hate her so much. And I ain't even a WNBA basketball fan, but it only gets brought to my attention because, you know, they put the stuff out there, and then you realize, like, I don't know what the hate for the girl is, but Angel Reese is the face of the sport too, and then you see her being the face of the sport, and then you see stuff like this, and it's like, ugh, yeah, can't have all that attitude and just be like garbage, just straight dog water out there. You know what I mean? Just straight. Oh my goodness, women's basketball. It is such a funny thing to watch, I tell you. It's funny to watch. But sports nowadays is rigged and they suck. Caitlin Clark loves it. It just gives her more clout. It does. It really does give her more clout, because now that image of her walking behind her with that smile on her face, it just gives her, you know what I mean? Like that needs to be a poster. They need to make a poster out of that picture right there of her just walking by like, they need to do that for sure, bro, because that is crazy work, bro. This is just hideous. I'm still looking at it over here. You can't see it. This is just hideous watching this, bro. Like, how? How tall is Angel Reese? Ain't she like 6'8" or some shit? Ain't she? Well, she looked like she's 6'8" compared to the rest of the girls. How tall is Angel Reese? Let me see. Last thing, we gonna wrap this one up for Angel Reese. She is 6'3". Jesus, I thought she was taller than that. She looks like she freaking she looked like she's 6'8" out there, don't she? She looked like she's 6'3". Oh man, I thought she was like 6'8". I thought she was like towering over everybody. No, the women are just shorter in stature, which is normal. But I just thought she was way tall. Dang, bro, you can't be. Are their goals lower in the WNBA? Do they lower their basketball goal? I'm curious. Is the female goal lower? Let me see. Is the WNBA goal lower? Is it shorter? Should I say shorter? No, WNBA hoops are not lower. Okay, basketball rim is set for 10 feet. All right, fair enough. Just had to check because I figured, you know. No, hoops are not lower. Okay. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. You still can't be missing layups. I don't give a damn. All right. Okay, that's it for the WNBA. Shout out to them. Hopefully, one day, they won't miss so many damn layups. I don't know what to tell you. It's just sad to see. It's sad to see. And I don't even know if they lost by 4 points, which now that I know, I didn't know. I thought it was a 2-point game. I don't know what the big deal was about them making that last damn layup. It didn't even make a difference. You still would have lost anyway, but I guess it just looks bad. I guess it just looks bad. I guess so. It is what it is. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop on today's show. Today we got Professor Jiang, who is going to QQ. Do women play basketball with a smaller ball? Good question. I had to figure out what QQ meant. Is the WNBA ball smaller? Let's figure that out. Ball smaller than the NBA ball. Yes, it is. The WNBA basketball is smaller and lighter than the one used in the NBA. Yes, to answer your question. Yes, the WNBA basketball is smaller and lighter than the one used in the NBA. So yes, it's smaller and lighter. So it's easier to hit threes. It's easier to palm because, you know, women's hands are going to be smaller. So, okay, so we have to. So because they're weaker naturally, their hands are smaller. And but the goal is still the same. So if the goal is still the same and the ball is smaller, they should be sinking buckets all day long with a smaller ball. I mean, unless the wind, like, you know, blows the ball to the side when they shoot it in the air because the ball's so light. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's enough. Let me stop. But yeah, I mean, they should be hitting threes all day long because it's a smaller ball. I mean, I doubt that the weight of it is like exponentially lighter. Good Lord. WNBA ball weight versus NBA. Now we got to figure it out. Let's figure it out. There we go. All right. Because now I'm intrigued. The WNBA is a smaller basketball than NBA. A WNBA ball size is a size 6 and weighs 20 ounces with a 28.5 inch circumference, while the NBA ball game is a size 7, weighs 22 ounces with a 29 inch circumference. So 2 ounces smaller, 1 inch less in circumference, so size 6, size 7. Okay, but still, the goal, the hoop, which I just looked up, which we just found out, their hoop is the same. So the WNBA not hoop height, hoop hole versus the NBA should be it's the same. They're identical, exactly. So yeah, there's no excuse at that point, ladies and gentlemen. There is no excuse. You probably can't see it. Yeah, The WNBA hoop and NBA hoop are identical. They use a regulation rim of 10 feet, standard 18-inch diameter ring. The same backboard dimensions of 6 feet wide, so that was just have a slightly smaller ball. And they're just not sinking the buckets, ladies and gentlemen. You know, sometimes, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles. And, things don't always go as planned. You know, they throw the ball up in the air and you hope for the best and prepare for the worst. And then, of course, you know, it's the good old brick mason laying every time. Yep. They should become brick masons after they leave the WNBA. All them damn bricks they've been laying. Might as well at that point, right? All right. Let's go ahead and dive into the show, man, because I got to get through this secret society with Professor Jiang. Jiang Wanqing, if you say his last name right. We'll just say Professor Jiang. Jiang, Jiang, Jiang. He's going to talk about secret societies with us. He's going to say he won't believe how they control you in particular. So we're going to see how they control you. And he's going to break this down. We're going to go over a few different videos. I'm going to go ahead, interject, and check out all this stuff and speak and stay on topic with them. We're going to actually see exactly how these secret societies work, because right now, seem like the world is just in turmoil. It seems like there's a whole lot of hellacious things going on. It's like everywhere you turn around and look, this law getting passed, that law getting passed, this person got shot, this person got unalived, this person got charged for unaliving somebody, but they got 2 weeks in jail, and you know, now they get out on good behavior in 1 week, and then they get back out and unalive another person and go back to jail for 28 days. This is a whole lot of stuff going on, and you got insider trading over here, then you got, you know, somebody just got caught for fraud over here, but they get in trouble. The Epstein file get released and nothing happened. So right now the devil is just walking around looking like So clearly it's got to be some secret society nonsense going on, in my humble opinion, I would say. But we're going to let Professor Jiang break this down, and we're going to see exactly. And he's actually a pretty smart dude. I kind of like him. He might be part of secret society too. If you don't know who he is, this is him right here, by the way. You might know him. You might have seen him on some things where he talked on a Diary of a CEO podcast and a bunch of people other stuff. And he talks about like predictions of the war in Iran and all these different things and stuff like that. He's really good. But in this case, he's going to talk about some secret society stuff. And we're going to dive in and just, you know, give our 2 cents and give our input on it. So topic I'd be interested in, stuff I enjoy talking about, you know what I mean? You know, and it helps you understand and develop a philosophy about the world, because that's what I try to help you develop on this channel. You got to develop a philosophy of your own. And, you know, you know, I'll always take care of fitness first, because I'm a fitness person first. So, you know, we'll have a new video uploaded tomorrow on the video channel for another at-home workout that we'll have, by the way. So, you know, just be ready for that. When they're dropping your thing, go ahead and get your ass a workout in. Yes, exactly. Get a workout, because you need it. But then also I try to like show you the world and give you an understanding of a philosophy that you can embrace. I always try to tell you to stick to nature, because right now the world is going to hell in a handbasket, and you can't deny it at this point. I mean, the world's going to hell at this point. So I try to get you to understand, get a philosophy to live by. Take care of your body, take care of your health, take care of your mind. You know what I'm saying? I say fast, pray, meditate, eat a healthy diet, exercise, work out, stay outside, stick to nature, go exercise, run, walk outside, whatever you do, but stick to nature through the path that we go through. In this AI turmoil that we're going to be hitting in, utilize AI. Remember, the intelligence is fake. That's why it's called fake intelligence. The real intelligence is you, but you could use the intelligence to your benefit, like a yin and a yang. You know what I mean? Don't let it tell you what to do. You tell it what to do. You know, don't let it play you. You play with it. And utilize it to your benefit and to your advantage to enjoy and further life. You know what I mean? So have a philosophy that I try to give you to shape and mold your mindset to proceed forward in life in this way, because the world is changing in this new normal trajectory that we all can blatantly see that's happening all across the world. Even if you're in Europe, like my boy Tiny Aim is, or over here in the United States, or anywhere in the world, you're seeing a humongous change go on in your country. Good or bad, most likely bad, but it is what it is. So just have a positive and solid mind frame, and don't let nobody shake you from your understanding, because you need common sense. Okay, you need common sense right now, because they're really trying to screw up common sense. And speaking of common sense, I'm glad I said that. Let me show you something when it comes to common sense. Good Lord, I have to show you this. I have to show you this because this right here is crazy. This right here don't make no damn sense. All right, so check this out. This guy spoke on this, and I don't think I should play his video. I want to see if I can zoom in. I can't zoom in. Damn it. Anyway, if you can see right here, he's going to talk about something. I'm going to let him talk for a short minute, then I'm going to go ahead and interject. But listen to this. He's talking about the new public schools grading scale has parents at odds. Let's see what he says for a brief second.
We doing here? Why are we lowering the bar?
Actually, screw what he's saying. I don't want to hear shit he got to say. So it says the old public school grading system, as we all know, as we all understand, it shows down here. It says a is a 90 to 100, a B is a 80 to 89, C 70 to 79, D 65 to 69, which I didn't know that. I always thought after C, I thought a C was 75 to 79 and a D was 70 to 74. That's what I thought. And I thought if you got a 69 and below, that was an F. That's what I thought. But, you know, I guess I was wrong, whatever. But the new public school grading system that they're going to be implementing, which I think this takes into effect in 2028, if I'm not mistaken, but I think it depends on the states or whatever. But the new public school grading scale, it says an A is going to be from a 84 to 100 is an A. A B is going to be from 64 to 84 is a B. A C is a 44 to 64. A D is a 44 to 24, and a F is a 0 to 20 freaking 4, bruh. What kind of clown world is this? So, like I say, bro, we are priming the world for future dumbasses in our country. I mean, straight up, I even said it. This is turning the future into dumbasses. Idiocracy is on its way, bruh. They said new normal and they was not playing around. They were not kidding, bruh. So if your kids are going to school in public school in the United States, they're going to change the grading scale system. And they also are going to change the college grading. Oh my goodness. Yes, let's look at hold on. College grading scale system change. Oh, Lord. We got to look this up, too. All right. So they're moving to a pass to no credit system for first semester starting in fall of 2027. Oh, boy. Here we go. The University of Michigan announced a major grading shift for incoming freshmen in its College of Literature, Science, and Arts, moving to a pass/no credit system for the first semester starting in fall of 2027 to address student mental health. Get the
Shut the fuck up!
Mental health, bruh.
Shut the fuck up!
Mental health. Anything but go exercise, eat a healthy. This is why I promote fitness and a philosophy. This is why I try to show you stay in shape, eat right, eat a healthy diet, exercise, workout, go jogging outside in the sun. Don't run on a treadmill unless it's cold outside or something, unless you're doing elliptical. And because at the end of the day, bro, your mental health could be addressed in so many other ways, as opposed to going to a legal drug dealer. Now, there's some things you probably do need to go to a legal drug dealer for. But I would say like 80% of the time, your issues probably lie in your diet, your exercising habits, and your lack of going outside and getting some sunlight. That's just me. I mean, I think your mental health would increase if you just change your diet, exercise regularly, and went outside for like 1 to 2 hours a day. That's just me. It says right here, the new Michigan policy details a pass and no credit. Transcripts will show only pass or no credit instead of traditional letter grades A through D for the first semester. Internal tracking. Professors will still assign regular letter grades internally for honors eligibility, advising, and scholarships. No GPA impact. So for the first semester, performance will be excluded from official grade point averages, GPAs. The change aims to ease the transition from high school, reduce anxiety, oh my God, and encourage students to take difficult elective courses. Oh my Lord. I don't know what to say, bro. They worried about your anxiety. Now, were they worried about people's anxiety when they kept these kids out of school when the strong flu 19 kicked off? Was they worried about when the kids came back in? Oh, what about their anxiety? They're going back to school after not being in the school for like 1 or 2 years. Because I remember, I think the strong flu 19 happened when my nephew was graduating high school, and it was sad. It sucked because like everybody couldn't show up, even though it was an outdoor event. You know, people had to wear masks outside next to each other, and like you only could have like 2 adults or 3 adults per family, and yeah, man. Be careful out there. Don't allow these people to scare you and have you out here taking drugs all the time because of your mental health. Stay away from drugs. That's my thing. Don't let these people dope you up. I used to work in a hospital. Let me tell you a story. I used to work in a hospital. One thing I learned about the hospital was this, right? Check this out. Did you know that your nurse or whoever, your nurse, assistant nurse, or whatever the case may be, probably even your damn doctor, maybe, I don't know, that if they're on therapist meds for anxiety or, you know, I don't know, delusion, whatever you can think of, stress, feeling weird, you know, whatever drugs that the therapist gives them, they can take those drugs because they're legal, go to get the job, and to work in a hospital, you got to go through a piss test. They can piss dirty. And because the drugs that they're taking is legal from a therapist, then dirty piss is okay, and they'll still get the job with dirty piss, bruh. So then, in turn, your nurse or whoever is working on you is taking these uppers, downers, sedative drugs while on the clock because they need them, because it's legal for them to take, because of their mental state. They can be high at work on these drugs and be caring for you or whoever your loved one is in the hospital. I'm telling you, bro. It's crazy. They in there just, you know, high as a kite out here performing God knows what on you. You know, just you know, pop their anxiety pills, pop their depression pills, pop their whatever ADHD, whatever the hell, whatever issue that they got. They get to pop their pills, and it ain't nothing to take a shot at work. There's nothing to, you know, drink a little bit of a something, you know, and brush teeth real quick after you done took your pills and took a shot to intensify your pill. It's nothing to do that. Brush your teeth, chew some gum, and come into work, you know what I mean? And just driving, you know what I mean? Then as you start to go down halfway through your shift, you know you got to take your pills every 4-8 hours. So you just pop another one. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's another reason why I push so hard to stay in fitness, because I'm like, I'll be damned if I have to go to a hospital for anything, knowing what I know working in one. I'm like, nah, that is crazy work. That's crazy work, bro. It's crazy work. But, you know, it's the world we live in. It's the world we live in. Anyway, let's get to Professor Jiang about this secret society and how they really control you. So without further ado, let's just quit wasting time. Let's get to it. Here we go.
The problem is that you have heaven, you have earth, and you have hell. Okay? The heaven is spiritual. It's consciousness. Hell, it's mechanical. It's machines.
All right, so right there, heaven is spiritual. Hell is mechanical. It's machine. I'll go on the limb and add a little bit more. I say heaven's going to be spiritual, nature driven, you know, like grow your own food and have your own water well and, you know, stick to the course of nature, you know, have a butcher, you know, your animals and do it the healthy way, the kosher way, without having all the fear of the blood of the animal and all that good stuff. Do it the right way. Like stick to the course of nature, spiritual, nature, heaven, nature. Yes. Hell, he says, is mechanical machines. I agree. Add materialism with it. Add materialism. This constant materialism. So that's what I would add to that as well. And, you know, like vaccinations as well.
Okay? We're stuck in between. It's always our choice whether to choose heaven or hell because of free will. Okay? And for most of human history, we have chosen heaven. But eventually, you had people who chose hell. And when you have choose hell, you have access to technology, right?
Ooh, that's a good one. When you go see, there we are. Materialism, technology, hell go together. Like I say, stick to nature, but you can still use technology, but it's like a yin and a yang. You got to be able to like navigate the two with a balance. So I'm glad he said technology when it comes to hell. You have to have that balance. And at this point, if you grew up in the same years that I did, I mean, I grew up before cell phones and stuff like that. So I was okay with no internet and living life with no internet. I mean, don't get me wrong. The internet has its benefits now. I mean, it does have some perks to it, but seeing the way that we went, yeah, I'd rather go back to the older ways. I personally would. I mean, I can't lie. Like internet does have some cool things. You can learn a lot and a lot of stuff like that, but it's taking a turn for the worse and it ain't going in a positive direction. So it's like to go in a positive direction, it's going to be a small patch of people who choose to link together and go in that positive direction, and a mass majority of people that are going to choose to go the technology route and go, you know, the hellacious direction with the technology. So that's why I always say stick to nature. He making a good point. This is one of the reasons why I say stick to nature. Just stay the path of nature, regardless of how bad it gets, what happens. Stay with nature at all times. All right, let's go.
And this technology allows you to conquer and control other people. Okay? But once you control and you conquer and control other people, you have to get them to obey you. If you are enlightened, if you know the truth, you know that none of this matters. We're all gonna die, so why should I listen to you? So in order for me to control you, I need you to fear death. Okay? I need you to forget God, and I need you to fear death.
All right, well, he cooking with some hot fish grease right now, bro. I gotta give this man some credit. He cooking with hot fish grease because when you think about it, they got that whole transhuman agenda that they trying to come up with. And if you're transhuman, at some point, I think it's like trying to make you live forever. But living forever ain't something that you probably want to do because according to like scriptures and revelations in the Bible, they have that part in the Bible and Revelations where it says that people will want to die when they get tortured or whatever by a group of, I forget what it was, but in Revelations, people will like get stung by scorpions or whatever the monsters are that come and tries and kills them or tries to kill them, but they can't die. Like death will flee from them because they can't die. They figured out technology wise, you don't die. You live forever now. You're forever living just turns into constant misery and pain. So he's on to something. He's really good with starting this off right now. So shout out to him, but we're going to keep going. So here we go.
When you die, dying is the worst thing that can happen to you. Because remember, before people understood, death was just a part of the journey. It was a release. It was an opportunity to reset yourself and come back. Now, death is the worst thing that could ever happen to you. Okay? So how do you forget God? And how do you get people to fear death? You use science. Right? And you create theories like the Big Bang, like evolution, like neuroscience, to make people forget the divinity inside you. Right? So that's what science is for. But unfortunately, for these people, that's not enough. Because eventually, we'll all die, right? So the only way around this is by creating a new technology called transhumanism.
Well, there we go. I ain't even seen this. So he nailed it. I was just thinking that. Transhumanism. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so he's on the same path that I'm on. All right, so we're on the same logic. All right, interesting. I ain't seen this. I was just curious. I seen I was put like spurts just kind of see what it's about, but this is good. So yeah, the same thing I was thinking. So transhumanism, which I don't know how that's going to work all the way, but as long as technology can be linked together with the human body, I don't know how they can make your consciousness live forever. 2 guarantees in life: death and taxes. Well, they trying to make it just taxes. They trying to get rid of the death part. They trying to just get rid of it. They trying to like, no death, just taxes. We're going to tax you as long as you here. So, but that's interesting. So as far as the transhumanism goes, I don't understand exactly how it works, but I have heard about it. And I was curious as to how would you allow someone to live forever? That's the $1 million question. How would you live forever being a transhuman? Would you have like I don't know. Would it be your nervous system that they would link up? Because your nervous system is like your consciousness, if you know anything about the human body. Like your nervous system is, your brain and the brain stem of the spinal cord, and then all the veins and stuff that come out of it like a tree. It kind of looks like a tree that could be planted, a type ideology. So I wonder if they are able to link your consciousness to a computer or what, or, you turn your heart valves to eternally, constantly pump blood. But I don't understand how you would escape death, because death usually happens when there's an extreme amount of pain. When you hit a certain pain threshold, you die. At least that's one way it can happen. I guess I can say it that way. That's one way it can happen. Another way is just, like your body expires. It's too old, and it's just like, all right, we just can't take it no more. But interesting. Let me see what he says about this. And not necessarily in that order. Right. It can be taxes and death, or whichever one. Here we go.
Okay. You may have heard of transhumanism. Again, don't worry about the concept now. We'll discuss this later on in the semester. But transhumanism is to surpass humanity, which basically means to defeat death. To upload your brain to the internet so you're here forever. Okay? To trap you here forever.
See, that's what I'm not understanding. How do you upload your brain to the internet? I'm trying to piece that together, and I'm trying to think of all the movies that I've seen. Where have I seen a brain be uploaded to an internet of some sort? The closest I'll say this is the movie Get Out, where they were trying to transport. If you remember the movie Get Out with the girl with the what course is this? I don't know what course this is. It's called Professor Jiang's Secret History on his YouTube channel, but I don't know what course this is. It's called Professor Jiang's Secret History number 9. So I guess it's his secret history courses, I would say. Professor Jiang's Secret History courses. But I can't think of, only thing I can think of is the movie Get Out. The movie Get Out was, if you remember, if you ever seen it, where the white girl, she was going in and she was dating a black dude. And in the movie, it seemed like she was dating her first black dude, and then she was going to go take him to meet the to go meet the family. They go to meet the family, and you know, the family's weird. The family's weird. Like, there's a lot of weirdness going on. And as you go through the movie, he starts meeting different people, and the family gatherings start to come around. All these different things start happening. And as the movie goes on, you start to realize that it's almost like you could tell everybody had different questions about his genes or his blackness, sort of say. And they were like, oh, are you good at wrestling? Are you good at sports? How's your eyesight? How's your, you know, testing, like trying to figure out what his genetics are and touching his body and stuff and feeling his build. And as you realize, they were doing they did a silent auction one day. They were trying to find out who was going to win him over. They were selling him. But what happens, what you find out was, in the end, they were trying to take his consciousness from his body and put it into another body. So he would still be in that. How do I say this? They were trying to take a consciousness of someone else and put it into his body. So he would still be in his body, conscious, but in the background. And the other person consciousness that they would put into his body would be the one in the front. So therefore, when you met him, you would meet the other person, and he would just be looking through his own eyes, conscious, but in no control, complete backseat with no control. So then he wouldn't act like himself anymore. He would act like the other person whose consciousness has taken over his body, but with him in the back seat, just staring through his vision. So I'm curious with this transhumanism, how could you take the nervous system and connect it to a cloud and live forever? That's where I'm kind of stuck at. I can't figure that part out. I'll have to do a deep dive on that, but that's where I'm stuck at. But sorry for pausing, but I got to do that for YouTube and stuff like that. But let's keep going.
And so now the question then is, why are they doing this? Why are people in power doing this? Okay, so as we've discussed in this class, throughout human history, it's usually secret societies that have the power. Okay? Why? Okay. Well, last class we discussed the idea of bureaucracy, right? Mass bureaucracy. And we discussed how in a mass bureaucracy, bureaucrats don't really want to do anything. They're lazy. Well, guess what? If you're part of a secret society and you're able to coordinate secretly together, you can control the bureaucracy because you're the only people doing stuff. Okay? But then the question, but the problem is bureaucracies do not like secret societies. So you have to maintain your secrecy. And how do you do that? You do that through transgression. If you guys are doing bad things together, okay? Now you have blackmail on each other. And therefore, you're committed to keeping each other's secrets. If one of you falls down, everyone falls down together, okay? So now you're committed to maintain the secrets.
Okay, but then, so then bureaucracy hates secret society. But then when your bureaucrats are part of the secret society, then what? Then it's like your bureaucracy is a secret society of bureaucrats. So it's like they may hate it, but at the end of the time, at the end of the day, they could still be infiltrated or bought. So it's kind of, bribing and, hey, I pay you to be a part of our cult so they can get one in, and then slowly but surely, I would say, manipulate and pull in more bureaucrats for the bureaucracy. So now, you got like half the votes or majority of the people in the bureaucracy part of your secret society. I don't know. But at the same time, these secret societies have It's kind of like whenever I say, like, when you're watching social media and you're always seeing ads and somebody's like, I have a new course and check out my stock course or my stock portfolio. Learn AI from me. Check out my school channel where I can teach you this. And I'm not saying that all of it is a farce, but it seems like a lot of people and like a lot of new faces pop up out of nowhere doing all these things. And you have to ask yourself, like, how many of these motherfucking people in secret societies doing this? Because it seems like people get pulled and leveraged out of nowhere. It's like, where do you get all of this leverage and pull from? Like, where do you get all this support from? Where is this coming from? How are you able to pull all this? And I always like, it has to be some kind of secret society that's pushing and giving them leverage to be able to do what they're trying to do. But I don't know. You tell me. That's how I look at it. But let's keep going. Here we go. Let's keep going.
But the problem is this. The problem is, okay, it's conspiracy, but the moment you're found out, they'll come and arrest you. So how do you work together without actually meeting each other? And the answer is religion. Okay? Or the word we use is eschatology. Religion is just a script, an understanding of the world that allows you to coordinate secretly. Okay? Does all this make sense? Okay. So now these secret societies, they are embedded in mass bureaucracy and they're manipulating the bureaucracy and they're working together to commit transgression. They have their own secret religion. Okay? When you combine these three together, what happens is that they're now forced to invert this understanding, inversion. Why?
I would say if you're forced to invert it because you are now Satanist, that's my answer. Because I'm on the same trajectory as what he's saying. When you say you have to invert it, because when you put manipulation of a bureaucracy, and you guys all have transgressions within your bureaucracy, but there's a religion, aka a code of conduct that you got to follow, and then you have to invert the heaven and hell structure, then you're a Satanist. That's my answer. I'm gonna go with that. I wonder if he says what I say, if he comes up to the same conclusion, but I haven't seen this. So I'm curious. I say why you're all Satanist, because everything you're doing is inverted. You're inverting everything that you do is the opposite of nature. There you go.
Because they know that they're doing evil in this world. So when they go meet God, God's going to punish them, right? So the way to get around this is, well, I will just worship someone who's superior to God, who is Satan, okay? Okay.
I was right. Now, I don't know how he says superior to God. He threw me off with that one, but okay, I was right. Exactly. So that makes sense. All right, we're on the same page.
So what they're going to do is they're going to invert this, okay? By celebrating Satan, they can now justify all their transgressions, right? As a way to empower Satan. Also, there's a fundamental weakness in the system, okay? So let's go over the three main characteristics of the system. The first is unity. Okay? So this entire system is complete and unified. Second is symmetry. Symmetry or polarity. And what this means is that if there's good, there must be evil. If there's ugliness, there must be beauty. Why? Because you cannot have one without the other, okay? One thing is meaningless without the other. That's why if you have God, you must have Satan, okay? And the third principle is as above, so below. And what this means is that everything is a reflection of each other. So you can never defeat God, but what you can do is corrupt human beings to worship Satan so that Satan becomes everything. Okay?
So therefore, Satan will be exalted like God because people choose Satan over God, which is a well-known thing. We understand that. So you can't defeat God, but you can try to get God's people to exalt Satan as if Satan was God and God no longer, or you forget that God exists. That makes sense. So therefore, I say, hold on. So this would be my understanding of how you would achieve this. Oh man, I say this all the time. This is going to be how I say how you would be able to achieve a said thing. All right, let's find this real quick. Where is it? Because I always show this, and it's such a great quote. All right, here we go. Is this it? Right here. So this is how I think you would be able to get people to forget God and get them to more easily be subjugated to the ideology of material, to be materialistic in all technology and oppose God and be in support of Satan would be with this right here, because this would go into a deeper conversation of falling into nanotechnology that can be embedded in the body, which is from this guy right here who mentioned this. You eliminate the soul with medicine. This is Rudolf Steiner. He said this over 100 years ago. He says that more than 100 years ago, Rudolf Steiner wrote the following, The Organized Earth. He says, in the future, we will eliminate the soul with medicine under the pretext of a healthy point of view. There will be a vaccine by which human body will be treated as soon as possible directly at birth, so the human being cannot develop the thought of the existence of the soul and spirit. The materialistic doctors, so the doctors in themselves will be materialistic. So they will already be injected with this vaccine, which then they already are part of the materialistic doctrine of no soul. They will be entrusted with the task for removing the soul of humanity, as today people are vaccinated against this and that disease, so that in the future, the children will be vaccinated with a substance that can be produced precisely in such a way that people, thanks to this vaccine, will be immune to the being subjected to the madness of spiritual life. He will be extremely smart. Speaking on the materialistic person, he will be extremely smart, but he would not develop a conscience. And that is a true goal of some materialistic circles. With such a vaccine, you can easily make the etheric body loose in the physical body. Once the etheric body is detached, the relationship between the universe and the etheric body will become extremely unstable, and the man will become an automaton. For the physical body of a man, it must be polished while on this earth by spiritual will. So the vaccine becomes a kind of an aramanic force, evil force, and the man can no longer get rid of a given materialistic feeling. He becomes a materialistic of constitution and can no longer rise to the spiritual. So then at some point, that to me, what he's saying here would describe what Dr. Zhang is saying is transhumanism. Blending vaccinations with AI inside of humans, which in turn destroys the etheric body and keeps you physical and materialistic. That's how that would be my understanding, and that's how it would be easier to exalt Satan over God, because at that point you're materialistic and you don't care about anything that's nature related or spiritual, because that doesn't resonate with you. What resonates with you is materialism. But let's let him keep going. Let's let him keep cooking. He almost finished on this one.
All right. Are you guys following along? Okay. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to invert this world. And how do you invert this world? What you do is, you know that hell is material. And you know that heaven is spiritual, right? What you do is you brainwash people to worship the material world and abandon the spiritual world. You make money, power, technology, science, the greatest things in the world. Okay? You get rid of God. You get rid of religion. You get rid of compassion. You get rid of love. And that's how you control the world. So in other words, What is happening today is a war between heaven and hell. The people in charge, the secret societies, they are interested. They must make hell into heaven and heaven into hell. They must invert the world in order to maintain their power. Okay? And that's what we will be focusing on for the rest of the semester. This war between heaven and hell. How it came about, who are the major players, and what will happen.
All right, so as you can see there, so he made some pretty good points on there. I got to give him a round of applause for that lecture. That actually made a hell of a lot of sense. So shout out to him on Pen that Piece. Now, we're not done. We still got a couple more videos that we're going to watch by him. I think one more video. We got one more video we're going to watch by him, but into that understanding of that right there, I would say, to me, he's spot on. I agree with him in what and how he worded that and how he put that together for sure. I would say that he is spot on with that synopsis that he came up with, or that lecture that he put together explaining the two. Now, as far as how materialism becomes a part of your existence, I would go with what I just showed you, Rudolf Steiner saying that the vaccinations at some point will be that. Because if you look into how many people took the vaccination, which we're going to look up, how many people took the vaccination. Let's see, how many people took the COVID vaccine worldwide. Holy shit. Damn. This can't be real. Shit. Worldwide, more than 5.5 billion people have received at least one dose of strong flu 19 vaccine, representing about 70 to 72% of the global population. In the US, about 255 million people, that's about 77% of the total US population, have taken at least one dose. Ooh, over 13.5 billion total vaccine doses have been given out around the world. 70% of the global population has received at least one shot. Poor countries report lower rates, with only about 22% of people in low-income regions receiving an initial dose early on. So, I mean, this right here can just tell you this will be the way how you would get people to be very materialistic. And as you can see, I'll say this for sure, ever since the pandemic, it's been a lot of materialism going on. Like, it's been on a whole nother level. You know, you can see it with relationships. You can see it with just social media. Like, everybody like brokey, you're broke, you're poor, you're poor, you're broke, you're broke, you're poor, you're poor, poor, broke. And I'm a proponent to get rich. I'm like, hey, make as much money as you can, get rich. You know, you want to be financially stable by all means. However, the internet takes it to another level, to a very materialistic way, to where people tell you how much money they make. They tell you everything about their relationships and how they did or what they did or why this didn't work or why that worked. And everything is just like surface level. Nothing matters. Me. I just materialistic. And then people are all like confused and don't understand why they feel the way they feel, or their feelings are valid, but yet they can't understand how to feel about something or how to work through anything. So they need therapy. And once they need therapy probably is going to give them some drugs. So then you're like stuck in this loop of like, if the therapy is giving you drugs, how you know the drugs from the therapeutic drug dealer ain't tampering with your shit? At some point, you got to like ask yourself that question. You know what I mean? Like, are these pills like safe? Y'all ain't stick like a piece of, you know, strong flu in here? You know, like what is this? I need anxiety pills. I need depression pills. I need, I don't know, headache pills. I need my feelings are hurting pills. I need don't trigger me pills and all these different things. So at what point is your pharmaceuticals not being tampered with when there's a legal drug dealer in the game. And just to show you, if that many people took the strong jab, 75% of people took that jab at least once. That's crazy. And it's only going to increase over time. Wow, that's crazy. So to understand the inversion of heaven and hell, and to know that they're going to need to do a lot of materialism to get you, you know, I would say that's why women or sex is being sold at an all-time high now. Because you keep everybody on a low frequency, and sex is easy to get for the right price. And the price is cheap. So it just makes it an easier world to adapt into for a nominal fee to keep you at a low frequency. And then if you can't afford it, then you have this anger, resentment, and frustration and bitterness, and then you can't even pass on for those who didn't get the jab. Then you can't pass on your unvaccinated seed. But then you don't want to turn around and drop your seed into a vaccinated person, because then you tamper with your seed. Your seed is tampered with. So it just leaves behind this whole ordeal of it has to be a battle for heaven and hell, because then if you're out here giving people a jibby jab and the jab is able to destroy the constitution of a person spiritually and keep them materialistic, then that means that you're tapping into an altering of the DNA structure. And if you're tapping into the DNA structure being tampered with, then from birth, you're damning people to hell. And they don't even have a chance to go to heaven, or to make an opportunity to go to heaven. Because the finances are so expensive. The cost of living is so expensive. Excuse me. The cost of living is so expensive. Daycare is the price of rent. Car notes are like $700 to $1,200. All these things are, super expensive. Food is modified and expensive. The price probably going up 150% since the strong flu 19. All these different things. So it's like forcing people to be materialistic. I'll take that back. It's making it hard for people not to be materialistic, to focus on their money and be in survival mode all the time, and to forget about God in such a sense. But then also taking vaccines and stuff like that, which is tampering with their genetic makeup. So then if somebody who is unvaccinated has a baby with somebody who is vaxxed, that baby is doomed from the start. But I digress. Let's go ahead and watch this next video. It has one more, which it says, what do secret societies do? Let's take a look in and see what he says what they do, since we have a good understanding of how they control you. Now let's see exactly what they do. So here we go. Professor Zhang, take it away. Next video.
Do? Well, yeah. This and this, okay? Why does the system work? Okay, so let's do game theory. Game theory. Game theory is just a study of how to win games, okay? It's a very general thing. So let's do a thought experiment and just say there's about 1 million people in the world, okay? There's 1 million people in the world, and they're all trying to win the game against each other, but only one can win. Well, according to game theory, the best way to win a game is by, does anyone know? Cheating, okay? Cheating. If you follow the rules, you will never win the game, you have to cheat. And in this game, the best way to win is by coordinating with other people, right? Because everyone's playing by himself. So if you can work with other people, then that gives you a huge advantage over everyone else, right? The problem.
See, and this is what I talk about. Like whenever you're watching social media everybody's got like these courses or I have this way to help you on this path. I got this way to help you on the path. I got this way to help you on the path. And this is how I handle this. This is how I do it. And this is the way I do it. And I have this track to AI, and I got this track for stock investments. I got this track for, real estate investing. I got this track for Airbnbs. I have this track to help you get these certifications for to get into the tech world. I have this qualification. It's like, damn. And it's like, how do you people, in a sense, pull all this together organically? I'm always like, there's got to be like some kind of secret society machine behind all this, guiding this in a sense. Maybe not all of them, but I would say majority of them. Well, let's continue.
The problem with this is the moment that people start coordinating, it forces an arms race of coordination. So maybe these 3 are working together. These 4 now are forced to work together, which now forces these 5 to work together, okay? So if you are the first to work together, you get screwed in the process. So if you cheat, you have to cheat secretly, okay? You have to coordinate without people knowing you're actually coordinating together. You have to conspire secretly, okay?
That's called a scheme. That's called a scheme. You're scheming. You got a scheme going on. Exactly. So yeah, cheating, scheming. All right, I get you. So we're on the same page. I got you. All right. So you got to have a scheme, which why I'm over like weary. That's why I say, look, stay the course of nature. Just stick with nature. Nature, you ain't got to worry about all this bullshit. Yeah, it'll get hard, it'll get tough, it'll get rough, but just stay the course, stay consistent, and figure out something that you like to do. Be consistent in it, more consistent than anybody has ever seen, and just stick to it. Don't deviate from it. Just like stay the course, see it through. The thick, the thin, the up, the down, the smiles, the frowns, the stress, the anxiety, the worries, the fear, the doubt. Go through every stress, but see it through. Mind your business and whatever it is that you're doing, whatever business endeavor that you're doing, but see it through. You go through all the emotions of it. You know what I mean? Like people they'll start to do something, and what happens is they'll jump ship from this to that, and it's like, you got to see it through. You can't keep bouncing from this to that, to this to that, because it didn't shake. It probably didn't shake because you didn't see it through. You expected a fast return. And like a lot of times, you got to see something through. It could take 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 years to see it through. You got to be able to see it through. A lot of people don't want to do that because time, but it's like, just, and that's the gamble. It might work. It might not. The safe route, it's kind of like being an entrepreneur in a business. It might work, it might not. The safe route will be a job. But as we see today, like jobs ain't protected that much no more. And the competition is fierce. But let's let them continue. Keep going, sir.
And there are different ways to collaborate secretly, okay? So let's look at examples. So family is one example, right? Of coordination, synchronicity. Another example is religion. If you have a leader, right? If you have a similar race, ethnicity, and you have a similar language. Okay, so these are examples of how you get people to coordinate together. The problem is that these are all obvious to people, which forces them to do the same thing, okay? But there's a strategy that you can use that allows you to coordinate secretly and defeat all your enemies. And this strategy is called transgression.
So you got to do, it's like a gang, in my opinion, gang or a cult or something. Y'all got to do something bad that binds you together. Transgressions, I mean, you got to do something bad that's going to bind y'all together. A cult, a gang, it's the same concept. Cults and gang run everything. So this is what he's speaking on. This is what I'm taking from it. This is what I get. This is like, he's talking about a cult or a gang. You're doing a transgression. Somebody has to bind you together, blood in, blood out type shit. But let's see.
Transgression, the breaking of taboos, the breaking of social norms, the breaking of social laws, transgression. Okay, so let's study this concept. All right, so the idea is that, the theory is that the greater you transgress, okay? This is the level of transgression. The greater your cohesion, which leads to synchronicity. Okay, that's a theory I want to propose to you. All right? So transgression, I mean, it's a very simple idea. You're breaking the rules, right? You're cheating. And therefore, everyone wants to put you in prison, which means that the only way that you can survive is if you keep the secret among your group, right? Which forces cohesion. Does that make sense? All right? And we see this in all aspects of society, right? So the most basic form of transgression is just joking. Or,
I mean, I guess an example of this would be the LIVESTREAM files. When they came out, we kind of saw that that's what that was. A big, like George Carlin said, it's a big club and you ain't in it. And everybody had something that they were doing. And we kind of was able to see behind that, and then nobody went to jail for it, but we see it and saw for what it was and understood that this is basically what he's explaining in a sense.
Or pranking, right? So for example, you guys, 6 of you, decide, you know what, we're gonna play a joke on the school. We're going to cover all the rooms with toilet paper. It's a joke, it's a prank, but obviously you don't want to get caught because the school will punish you. And this joke and this prank will make you more cohesive, right? Because now you have a secret amongst yourself. And if anyone betrays you, you're all screwed, right? Does that make sense? That's the logic. The other thing that's really interesting is that when you transgress, when you break a taboo, you feel empowered. You feel liberated. And it becomes addictive. Right? You fill the school with toilet paper. You're like, that was a lot of fun. Why was it fun? Because you broke the rules. You feel I'm more powerful than my teacher. So you keep on doing more and more of this stuff, right? Then you maybe
He just described modern relationships. Sorry, I had to throw that one in there. But yeah, you know, we all understood this feeling growing up as a kid, as a teenager, trying to fit in with kids and stuff like that and do bad things, trying to be cool, to make friends and stuff. So it's like he's kind of across the same line, but then you can see how this in turn goes into secret societies, fraternities, or the LIVESTREAM files. I mean, just quite simple. I mean, this is practically he could throw that in here and it would just fit right in just fine with a transgression. Everybody having a secret and then moving towards whatever common goal that you're moving to. But then if your common goal is to turn hell into heaven and heaven into hell and invert the exalting of a false god, Satan, and making all people follow him, then this all makes sense and ties in perfectly well.
be like, hey, let's go to the store and steal a candy. That candy may cost $1, nothing, right? But you try it and you are terrified. You're seized by doubt. You're seized by fear. Sorry, so this is the sound that tells us that we should go on break, but again, we don't go on break in this class, okay? So I apologize. We're not taking a break. We keep on going, okay? But that's what the sound is. Okay, so you're terrified.
Well, damn, Professor. No break. Y'all sit here. Shut up.
Because your mother, your teachers, everyone told you stealing is bad, right? But when you actually go and do it, how do you feel? You feel energized. You feel liberated. You feel empowered. And if your friends were with you, the friendship becomes much more unified, much more cohesive, much more synchronized. Does that make sense? And now you want to like, let's break more rules. Let's see what happens if we break more and more rules. And you keep on going because it's addictive. And ultimately, there's a transgression that is the ultimate taboo, which is what? You guys know? Yeah, right? This. Right? Can you?
God dang. Ain't no way. I called it. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. Well, I mean, you can't deny. I mean, and it's as old as time as far as history goes. You know, you can find in the Bible, a movie Apocalypto. I don't think they wanted to show it in the movie, but remember when the dude got caught in the movie Apocalypto, if you've seen it, he got taken, he got captured and took up to the top of the temple, and they were sacrificing people by yanking their hearts out or chopping their heads off and holding it up to their gods, and then the body would go tumbling down. They would just bring the next one up to do the thing over and over. They could have been doing the same thing to, what he's saying over here. They could have been doing that same thing to, unfortunately, kids, but they did it to adults in that movie. Could have been the same concept, though, if you think about it. Anyway, let's keep going.
You think of a more worse transgression than this? That's why they do it, because it feels empowering. It releases energy. They do it because they believe that when you do this, it releases divine energy. And
to say that it makes you feel empowered to do that, it's crazy work. You got to be the biggest piece of shit ever to think that you are empowered. I mean, you're just a demon at that point, and you need to get put down. That's what that is. Because these same people are trying to put down everybody. I mean, yeah, straight up. You feel empowered doing that for divine energy. You're a demon. That's all that is. That's just demonic energy. That's demons. Like you heard of Virginia. Oh my goodness. Speaking of, oh Lord, Virginia. Let me pull this up. Good Lord. Virginia, where are you at? Virginia, hold this L. I'm pretty sure y'all heard about this already. I'll stop. Let me just show you this real quick. Virginia. No, Massachusetts governor. Here it goes right here. Massachusetts governor signs a bill allowing abortions up to birth. Up to birth. In Massachusetts, you can now abort a baby up to the day of birth. Look at this. This is crazy. Signed it in a bill. And look at all these women smiling. They're all happy. What are y'all smiling for? Look at this. Oh my God. Let's just look at this. Look at this, yo. They're happy. They're happy. Like, look, they're happy. Thank you. Thank you for what? Look, they're smiling. Up to the day of birth, these people are smiling for children to be aborted. Look at this. Look at these evil people, happy, smiling that they get to abort children up to the day of birth. They're happy for it. Look at this. This is the divine power, the energy that these demons feel. Look at this shit is wild, bruh. And look, she says thank you. Thank you to her. Thank you. Bruh. You really can't make this up. This is wild. It's crazy work. But again, just going off of piggybacking on what he said, since he brought it up, I figured that's like another way to go about it when you look at it. But let's let him keep going. He's almost finished.
When you actually do it, okay? Guys, I'm not telling you to go do this, okay?
Oh, and this could be a form of a secret society right here. This could be a secret society. Speaking of which, these could all be secret society members. All of them and more. But just to, throwing that out there since that's what he's talking about. But let's let him finish cooking. We got to wrap this up, though. I got to be somewhere. So here we go.
Please do not do this, okay? And guys, I'm not telling you to go do this, okay? Please do not do this, okay? And please remember, okay? This is evil. We should not be doing this. But when you actually go and do it, those who can do it, they feel as though they are now inundated, that now they are now filled with divine energy. They found the secret of the universe. They found the ultimate power in the world. Another transgression, which is not as bad, but pretty bad, is the idea of incest, right? And there are secret societies out there, guys, that do this. And you know what, guys? I hate to tell you this, okay? But they do it in public in front of everyone else because that creates both group unity, synchronicity, and it releases in their minds divine energy. They have now access to God. If you want to know what secret societies do, Well, yeah. This and this, okay? And again, this is only a small group of people. But now we know why these people control the world. Because they're...
See, there was a girl on Oprah's show who talked about this. She said that she was in a secret society or whatever family, and they committed this, and then when the child was born, they would do this. And it was on the Oprah show back in like the 80s or no, like maybe like 90s. Let me say 90s. It was like the 90s. But I'll show it to you in a minute.
They're able to keep secret because they're more motivated than everyone else. And they're able to work together in a way that allows them to achieve ultimate power. These leaders you see, right? These leaders you see, they are puppets. They are just the face. The real power are these secret societies that practice these rituals. And again, I'm not saying this is the truth. I'm just saying this is a possible theory about how the world works, right? Because this is a class of speculation. It's a class of theory. Don't think this is the truth, okay? But you can think about how this works and ask yourself, does it explain the world? Okay.
All right, so here we go. I've actually found that clip. So I'm gonna wrap this up here. I gotta wrap this up pretty soon. Oh shit. I wrap this up pretty soon. Let me see. So here's that clip. So since he's talking about, you know, family and you know, this child sacrifice and incest and all this stuff going on, here's a clipping from an old Oprah show where she talked about this. Hopefully I don't get a copyright for this. This is on Twitter, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully not. If I do, then before I play this video, if this part of the show gets clipped out whenever you watch the playback, I'm just gonna let it be known now. This clip is from let me see if I can explain it right here. So this is on a 1989 on an Oprah Winfrey show. A survivor by the name of Rachel went public with her testimony. I found this on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And she just describes her multi-generational family that she lived in and how they practice dark occult rituals. So I'll play it now, but if it skips on the playback, because I probably had to clip it out because I got, you know, a message from somebody or YouTube telling me that it was copyrighted or something, because it's the Oprah show. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you this clip right here, and this will kind of explain what Professor Jiang was talking about when he was expressing this right here. Whenever he was talking about, where's my thing? When he was expressing this right here, he was talking about this and this. We're going to see it right here in this clip. So here we go. Let's go ahead and run it.
Participated in human sacrifice rituals and cannibalism, worshiping the devil. My next guest was used also in worshiping the devil, participated in human sacrifice rituals and cannibalism. She says her family has been involved in rituals for generations. She is currently in extensive therapy, suffers from multiple personality disorder, meaning she's blocked out many of the terrifying and painful memories of her childhood. Meet Rachel, who is also in disguise to protect her identity. You come from generations of ritualistic abuse?
Yes, my family has an extensive family tree, and they keep track of who's been involved and who hasn't been involved. And it's gone back to like 1700.
And so you were...
Right, I was born into a family that believes in this.
And does everyone else think it's a nice Jewish family? From the outside, you appear to be a nice Jewish girl.
Definitely.
And you all are worshiping the devil inside the home?
Right. There's other Jewish families across the country. It's not just my own family.
Really? And so who knows about it? Lots of people now.
I talked to a police detective in the Chicago area, and several of my friends know, and I've spoke publicly before. And
so when you were brought up in this kind of evilness, did you just think it was normal?
I've blocked out a lot of the memories I had because of my multiple personality disorder. But yes, I mean, it's like if you grow up with something, you think it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought.
So what kinds of things? You don't have to give us the gory details, but what kinds of things went on in the family?
Well, there would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to, you know...
Whose babies?
There were people who bred babies in our family, no one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not, or they would supposedly go away for a while and then come back. The other thing I want to point out, not all Jewish people sacrifice babies. I mean, no, that's not a very typical thing. I just want to point that out.
This is the first time I heard of any.
So as you see right there, she basically broke down the same thing that he was saying. He mentioned the same concept of how those two things tie together. As you can see, he broke that down into this and that. So it's the same thing. And, you know, she made it very clear on who does it, who doesn't, and stuff like that. So, you know, don't go around judging people for all people for things that, you know, certain people do. But anyway, as you can see, though, he was speaking on that, and that goes across all demographics. It's not just one demographic. Don't think it's a particular religion. Don't think it's a particular culture or race or creed or whatever family. Don't think that you don't know who's who. They could be as white as this cup, or they could be as black as this hair tie I have for my dreads. So it could be a spectrum of who you don't know who do all this. You know what I mean? So it's not just particular anything, but what he's speaking on, as you can see, it's a known thing. It's not hidden. It's never been hidden. It's just a known fact of what happens and what goes on. So I always try to tell you, stick to the path of nature. Healthy diet. Eat healthy as you possibly can. Exercise daily, 5 days a week minimum. Go outside, do cardio, walking or jogging. If you're jogging, at least get a hard jog in for like 30 minutes or whatever. Walk for 30 minutes to an hour. Get some sunlight. Pray, fast, meditate, and whatever word that you read, stay rooted in it. But as long as it's a godly word and not a satanic word. And, have a philosophy about yourself. Find a business that you can run or that you're good at or that you're either passionate about or just something that you're able to learn and do and be good at it and be financially successful, and mind your business, as in mind the business that pays you and stay focused on it. Grow it. Cultivate it, flower it, or water it, watch it flower, bloom, blossom, whatever the case may be, but focus and see it through. Ups and downs, smiles and frowns, good and bad, happy, rain, sad, poor, mad, glad, happy, angry, upset, frustrated, depressed. See it through, but stay focused on you and your business and stay consistent with it. And then have this philosophy as you go through all of the emotions and stuff that you develop along the way, that you're able to obtain being successful while staying the course of nature, because then in turn you could also be able to be beneficial to understand how to deal with other people, especially when you're going to end up choosing a woman or a spouse to have children with in the future, so you can produce good fruit, good children, because that's going to be the biggest decision you will ever make. You want to have kids in the future, you got to make sure that your philosophy lines up with the other individual. But in order for your philosophy to line up with the other individual, you got to have your own philosophy set in stone. Then you run a background check on that other person to make sure they ain't got no crazy shit going on in their life. And whatever it takes to do a background check, you scrub their background clean. I don't care if you got to get a private investigator involved, but you get all of that done to make sure that whenever it's time, that once you obtain your success in life, if you so choose to have children and have a spouse or whatever the case may be, either you do it through surrogacy or you do it through, spouse and love. But whatever you do, just know that this is the world that we live in. This is what goes on. And you've been cultivating and understanding and being mindful of this the entire pace, the entire way of you getting to a certain level in life, to getting to a high earning or whatever the case may be. So when you get there, the power of your seed and your children, if you choose to have any, or you go the surrogate route and bypass the woman altogether or the spouse altogether, and then outsource the duties of the other of the spouse. However you choose to do it, but you have to make sure that you vet the other individual that you deal with meticulously. Because as you can see how he just broke this down, and how I just showed you that Oprah clip, and how I just showed you right here that about roughly, what is this? About 70 to 72% of the global population has received at least a dose of this strong flu 19. You don't know what the long-term effects of that could be. And it hasn't been good from what we've researched and seen. And we see that, you know, clearly there's an agenda to push a devil in place of God the Creator. So have a routine, have a development, have a philosophy about yourself, have a mindset, have a strong spirit and a strong will and understanding of what's going on and what you're getting yourself into. Because the oldest story in time is the story of Adam and Eve. Don't get kicked out the garden because you wanted to believe what a damn female said. And not because you believed her, but you were dumb enough to do what she said. Have your own strong philosophy about yourself. And then know what you have to do if you choose to have children. Vet out the other person. And if you choose to go surrogacy, make sure you do it right, and then outsource the duties of the spouse. But you want to have, if you want to have children or produce good seeds in the future, you gotta have a strong philosophy and a healthy body and a healthy mind to go along with it, and a strong routine and discipline to go along, because that's what's going to tie it all together and go a long way. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, your boy got to get up out of here. Thank y'all for tuning into another DLE Fitness live stream show. I got to roll up out of here. Hopefully y'all enjoyed today's show. I will catch y'all tomorrow on the next one, man. I got to roll quickly. So see y'all tomorrow on the next show. We'll try to do it earlier as possible, since, you know, today was first day of school, but we'll try to do it early tomorrow. But with that being said, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care. Love you and peace.
Thank you for watching D. Elliott Fitness live stream. Goodbye.
I'd rather be in the studio than in jail or on the street. Talking the wrong, couldn't off your teeth. Got that one hit to quit and knock you off your feet. It's big, baby, I'm obsolete.